But welcome, Kobe, to the show.
Hashtag fail.
Last month and a half to 2 months, it's been the opposite. We've had more patients than I didn't even know we could have this many ICU patients in our hospital. You wearing a mask is to protect, if you're at the grocery store, when you talk, from spitting on apples, and then the next little old lady coming by and grabbing an apple and then getting corona and dying.
If you went like this with your shirt, it wasn't good because the sneeze still shot and all the particles still went through your shirt. Then
you should probably have like a tissue and you should sneeze into the
wait. People don't know that. Like, you know, he'll be like, hey, even if he's wearing a mask and all fine, there's an old person there, I will tackle my kid. I will Michael Strahan him, right?
4.63% of the people worldwide are dying from this.
Right.
Yeah, so I just want to ask you a question as a nurse who's out there in the real world. And you can answer both ways, right? One way is, like I said, think about what it was a month ago when things were slow, right? And things, because correct me if I'm wrong, Arizona opened up like I think May 1st into May 15th, right? You guys had that slow open in between, or fast open in between those 2 weeks. Since May to, again, June, how was things running? Did you see that as a positive? Because I'm still going to, and I think, Mikey, if you agree with me, I think you do, that from June on, everything now has a lot to do with the protesting. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all it's protesting.
No.
I'm just saying protesting is a big part of it.
I wouldn't disagree with that, but we'll let Colby answer and then I'll chime in.
Yes. Go, Colby, your turn.
Go, Colby. You
guys can handle the protesting. But my standpoint is, I don't think everything has to be closed down. I 100% am on board with, we want to live our life. We need to work. We need to make money. We need to, be able to eat, see our families. The thing is what we need to do, and I think it's been being proven right now with what's going on, is you should be, if you're going to be around people, wear a mask. If you're going to be around people, be 6 feet apart. You don't need to be going to a concert right now. And I don't know if that's going to be.
Or rallies.
What the
fuck is rallies doing on right now? Are you serious right now?
Yes. But I'm not going to get on that. That's for you guys. But,
that's our part of the show.
Smart. Just be smart. Yeah. And I don't know. It's very frustrating because I know how everybody feels. I know why it's stressful. I know why everybody's freaking out. But we just have to be safe and wear the mask or stay 6 feet apart, or, if you want to stay home, stay home. So.
Right. And I think that's one of my biggest things. I think choice. I'm a big person with choice. I believe your freedoms are your freedoms. And I think jobs and businesses should cater to people like Mikey who have preconditions, should allow him to stay home, should allow services to continue so he can live his life the way he needs to live to be protected. But for the people who still want to go outside, I agree. I think there still needs to be certain things like you got to wear your mask, stay 6 feet away. Definitely. Again, we all don't know people like preconditioned. Like you see Mikey walking down the street, his age, you think he's fine. But like with me, I stay away from, again, the elderly. Even though they're walking up. By the way, there are a lot of them out there. I'm like, what are you doing? Hold your cane. I'm trying to save you, man. What the hell are you doing, old lady? I don't give a shit. Get back in your house. I swear. It's just like, that would bother. When I see someone not wearing a mask, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm like, whatever. That's your life. I don't agree with it. Again, I'm not going to tear into them. When I see an old person, though, I'm like, get back inside.
So the other perspective, though, for what you just said is people like us, the younger people, that's the reason why we should be wearing the mask, so that people like Mikey, or like, I just talked to my grandmother the other day, and she's crying. She's so depressed. She's sick of being stuck at home, and that's not fair to her. Like, to be stuck at home. So the whole idea of wearing masks.
Her, granddaughter comes visits her. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm with you, Grandma.
We're having in the family right now. But that's the whole point. Is your mind capable of sacrificing and thinking of other people above yourself? Like, that's the whole point. Like, if you want to wear a mask or not. Like, that's why it's frustrating.
I saw a meme that nails this so perfectly. And it was a guy, and I think I sent it to you, Mikey, which was, I hate group projects because of this reason.
It's so true.
You don't want to do the fucking project. And that was my thing. I told so many people, they're like, we need to open up the economy and these masks are stupid. I'm like, fucking compromise. Wear the mask. We open up the economy. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about that? Literally,
Agreed.
Just compromise. Like, again, I'm a big person. Meet in the middle. Just compromise. If people are like, we'll open up the economy, wear your stupid mask. That's the middle. Okay, fine. Let's meet in the middle. I'll wear the mask. What's so hard about that?
Well,
the carbon dioxide that you breathe in. So
Don't get me started.
Okay, no one's telling you got to wear it 24/7 for the whole freaking day. I'm just telling you, you're in your house, do whatever the fuck you want. You're in your car, do whatever the fuck you want. You get out of your car into a public place, put on the goddamn mask, go around the public place, grab the shit you want. The only thing I will fight against anybody is the stupid fucking arrows at the grocery store. No one's going to convince me. This is my biggest thing at the grocery store when I'm pushing the cart and I'm looking at the arrow and the thing I want is right there. And I'm like, grab the one damn thing that's right there. It's not happening. But I swear to God, every time I do it and I step over that arrow, there's always somebody coming down that direction that just starts shaking their head at me. I'm like, it's right there. I'm like, I didn't want to go all the way around.
Oh, man. Well, I'm all about choice. But, because there's people out there that, don't think of others. That's the problem. Is there's people out there that live with vulnerable people. And those people that live with those vulnerable people aren't thinking of those people that are vulnerable. And that's what I think frustrates me. And I think Colby's kind of said along the same thing. It's frustrating to see a community that doesn't want to help, like you said, come in the middle, reopen the economy, wear a mask. That I agree with you would be the middle. Carry the hand sanitizer.
I like to come in the middle. Continue.
With choice though, the thing that sucks about choice is then you get someone. Let's just use an example, and I'm just pulling this out of the air for a moment. Let's just say me. Let's say that we have somebody in the household that wants to go and live their life. It kind of puts a burden on me that has to turn around as an individual with a pre-existing condition and now try to convince this individual that, hey, you shouldn't be going out because I care about my life and you're jeopardizing mine. And not picking on political party or anything like that, but I am saying it does seem that a lot of individuals from the right, mostly, I'm not saying there's none on the left, a lot of people on the right are stubborn to the fact of wanting to wear a mask. And the worst part of that is they might not kill themselves, but they're going to probably or could probably end up killing someone else. And that's right. And that is the part that frustrates me, because you talk about people, not you, people that are debating the masks say, oh, it's my right. It's my privilege. Okay. You live with your grandmother? I've had people say yes to that question. Holy crap. You live with your grandmother. Your grandmother's taking care of you, helping you out, and you're out partying. Like, to me, it's like,
so we made it political, and that was the problem.
Well,
and that's the situation that we're facing right now.
I don't think we made it political.
Yes, we did.
No, I think the people within the White House made it political by not showing face and setting an example of wearing the mask.
I agree with you on, but I won't say the White House. I would say political parties. It started up there, and then it got divided, right? And that is what divided the country. And it started there because everyone started going, hey, we can't make this political. We can't make this political. And even with shutting down the economy, because this is the way I got to say it. We all did it. We all went inside. We all stood away. We all did these things. And then after a month, 2 weeks, when they're like, man, these people seem to be fucking getting along. What the fuck is wrong with these people? We got to split this shit up. Wear masks. No. Don't wear masks. Let's get... And that's kind of... And I'm over-exaggerating it, Mikey. But that again, is where I saw... Again, you got to take somebody like me. Again, you're left, you see... I'm right. I see where we see the different views of each side. And I saw people, again, I have experiences just going out myself. This was before masks were mandatory to go out, where I went out and I was just going into a store where I had people cursing me out, yelling at me. Oh, what the fuck you about? I'm like, I thought we weren't supposed to be politicizing this. And we're in cotton masks. And I was just like, dude, I'm like, you're not even wearing the right mask. I'm like, I'm not wearing a mask right now because there is no mask. I'm waiting on my mask to be ordered. I'm like, I'm literally waiting on my mask to come in so I can wear a mask, and you're fucking, ripping me in. And I think a lot of people don't see that. That's kind of where the divide started, where it's just like you're either on one side or the other, and you went outside and people are actually attacking you because of their political views. Now, back to your situation is I agree with freedoms, but that doesn't mean there isn't consequences to freedoms, right? Like, for an example, if your roommate, which I'm not agreeing with their actions, I think that's a very douche or dick move. Or, what we're saying, it's not your roommate, but let's use it as an example. We all know it's your fucking roommate. But let's be honest, right? But if that person gets the virus and gets you sick, I will 100% be on the panel that would want that person to face some type of prosecution for your situation and your death.
But there's no laws against saying that what she did was illegal. So guess there's no prosecution because there's no law
there's
against
plenty
it.
There's plenty of laws, actually.
Maybe in New York. Or Chicago.
There's plenty of laws.
Not in Arizona.
If it states in certain situations with, like I said, if I walked into a old person's home and I have fucking AIDS and I start like pissing and licking shit and just leaving shit everywhere, I can go to jail. So for someone knowing that they live in a house with somebody that has a precondition that could die by their actions that they're doing, yet they still willingly went out and did the things that they did that caused this person to die, yes, they can be prosecuted.
I haven't heard that, so I got to research that. I do know that in some areas, at least in Arizona, I've heard that they can't cite you. I heard that from what I've understood, that there is no law against it, but a business can refuse services to you.
But there's no strict law for COVID-19. I'm using the general law. That's the point, is what I'm saying, is the general law that protects you, not the COVID-19. There is no COVID-19 law, but the general law in the situation that would protect you, or at least open up a case for prosecution.
What would the law be? What ruling would that be under?
That would definitely be another conversation. But now that you asked that, I'm actually going to take that down in my notes and I will find that information for you.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because that you've kind of made me think a little something different here. And I think that we need to do a little bit of research on that because I'm kind of curious myself as we're speaking. And I know we didn't pre-talk about this. This is something that just kind of came up with a thought and whatnot. So I definitely think that I'm going to at least research it because I'm intrigued. I'm kind of curious.
But back to our guest.
Did you have any other questions?
Go ahead, plenty of questions.
Go ahead.
Right?
Zing them out.
Next thing is how are Kobe, question time. How are we counting COVID-19 deaths? Because there have been lots of rumors. Well, not even rumors, right? The governor of Illinois came out even saying, if you were in a car accident and you tested for COVID-19, it's COVID-19 death. I'm not saying that they're over-exaggerating the numbers, but there's a lot of evidence to support anywhere between 10 to 20% of the actual COVID death numbers are actually due to other things. It's not a huge difference, but still 20% is a big difference. So my question to you, which was, can you shine any light on this? Are you told? Obviously, I know you're a nurse. I'm not trying to belittle you or your position. You may not be in that situation where you're actually counting what deaths are, but can you shine any light on that?
So all I can say is I don't know what's happening in all of the other hospitals. I don't know what's happening in all of the other states. And, we can even say, because pretty much this is worldwide at this point. But in my hospital, absolutely, people are coming in with respiratory distress. That is their main symptom. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that can be related to is something in regards to your lungs. And then they get a chest x-ray first thing, and then we're swabbing people, right? The chest x-ray shows pneumonia. Well, COVID is giving people pneumonia. So they're testing positive. Now, on the other side of your statement, we're also a trauma center. So we still have traumas coming in. We've had quite a few traumas come in, and we're swabbing everybody now because we've had so many people end up with COVID. And then we were all exposed, not knowing that they had COVID. So this is why, the whole mask thing, people are asymptomatic and don't know they have COVID.
Right.
Yep.
So someone gets into trauma. We've had a few car accidents and whatnot. They come in. So we're handling their trauma needs, but then all of a sudden they're having respiratory issues and we don't have an explanation for it. So then they send down a swab and then they end up being positive. So in my hospital, no, there's no reason to lie. Our numbers are through the roof. We don't want this many patients. We're dying right now, Right. So I don't know what's happening everywhere else, but yes, there's multiple reasons that people die. The other thing with COVID is a lot of people are ending up with renal failure from all the medications that they're getting and other reasons. And a lot of people
real quick question. I'm sorry, just in case people don't know what rectal failure, or renal, or whatever failure is, because I'm not a fucking doctor. Can you explain that?
Failure. Definitely not rectal failure.
Your butt has left the chat.
Sorry, kidney failure. I was rambling at that point.
Okay, so it's kidney failure. Excellent. Thank you for that information.
But there's more research to be done about the fact that it's affecting vessels and it's causing people to have clotting disorders, and a lot of people are having strokes. They're having clots in their lungs. They're having heart attacks, and it's all turning out that it's related to the virus in some way. But that's all still.
Oh wow! So wait, so that's some new information there. So we've all understood this. Obviously, the code with ammonia and lung failure. You talked about blood. What's going on with that?
So, my perspective is just, I can tell by the lab values that my patients have, and by a lot of them are having clots in their body. And I've read a few articles that it's showing that COVID is actually attacking the vessels, which is super scary. That's probably the thing that scares me the most out of everything. So everything, they're still researching. We still don't know everything.
Right.
That's the whole point, is people aren't being patient. People aren't, letting this thing play out so that we can learn appropriately as a society. But it's happening and we don't. Yep. So yes, there's other causes of death, but it was still related to COVID. They came in with COVID. You know what I mean? It was respiratory distress to begin with.
So just another thought here, which is, and I don't know if you have the answer or not, or if anybody on this, call has the answer. COVID obviously was always around, right? COVID was always here. It just wasn't present in humans, right? It was in animals. It then made the jump to humans. Was these the same symptoms that animals had? If anyone had, I'm just interested. I know I'm throwing a complete curveball. It's not on any of our questions here. It just really threw. I mean, now with you talking, that's the first thing that pops into my head is this thing mutating? Is kind of my question, right? Which is it the same symptoms as animals, or is this now getting worse and mutating?
Yeah, I wouldn't have an answer to that, Mikey. I don't know if you have information.
Hey, Jamie, can you find the answer to that?
So,
Cal gets my Joe Rogan reference.
So
Jamie, look that up for me. Hey, can you look that up for me? Can you YouTube it? Can you put it up on the screen?
So, BJ, from what I've understood, and I mean, I didn't come prepared for information with this, but
I know.
from what I've understood, is Dr. Fauci has stated that it's one strand and it essentially affects everybody differently. So I may be asymptomatic, or however the proper name for it, but then I pass it on to somebody else, and now they're the extreme case. Yeah. It's all just depending on the antibodies that your body has. So,
100% understand.
So, as far as from what I've understood, there's one strand that mutates depending sometimes on your antibodies. If your antibodies aren't strong enough to fight off the disease, it's going to try to mutate to overtake your body. That's how I understood Fauci to explain it. Maybe I misunderstood something. So if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me.
Well, that sounds about right. But I was understanding it was a lung infection. This blood clotting thing has definitely got me concerned because
it's all linked.
Different. How?
Right.
Is it, Kobe? Is it the lungs and blood clotting linked? The same thing?
Well, it's all linked to the COVID. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all linked to the COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
That's what I meant.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Copy that. I was going to say, because I watch Osmosis Jones, and that's never...
Take it easy, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock needs to do his goddamn job and take care of this virus. I watched the movie. I know how it works. I'm a doctor.
Everybody is now.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't know that? WebMD told me I was going to die 2 years ago. I'm still living.
Well, now that we all have social media, we're all lawyers, doctors, politicians.
We're
everything now.
Everything.
We're all professionals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to go to college. I'm on Facebook.
I got me education.
So true. I got one of those educations. Cal, you don't need to go to college. We got Facebook and Google. Why do we need college?
You telling me I wasted all that money? Crap. Damn
it. So another thing I want to bring up is there any other dangers with COVID? Obviously, we're talking about you're seeing some people now who are younger, which again, no offense, bringing up the protesters, because a lot of protesters were young, and that kind of all again still fits the narrative. Are we, and I have kids, so I'm a little concerned. Me and my wife are trying again. Do you have anything else information-wise that have maybe been changing that we're not hearing about? Are kids still pretty much safe? Because, to be honest with you, I throw my kids out in public first, and if they don't start coughing, then I kind of step in next, just making sure I'm doing the right steps, right? I push them out first, and I'm like, you go first. And I'm like, did you cough? Do you feel dizzy? Okay. Do you have any blood clots? Okay, we're good. All right.
TJ's defense against CPS is this is a scientific experiment. You can't fault me for science.
Right, you can't. So, I watched The Big Bang Theory. I know what I'm talking about. So, Kobe, is there anything else that we should be worried? I mean, I just learned about blood. I've learned about blood clots. I've learned that I need to use a tissue when I sneeze, even with a mask. I'm learning so much over here. I'm going to start putting a tissue when I fart. What else should we know, especially when it comes to kids or pregnancies or anything else that we should be alerted by?
So I'm not an expert on this and haven't done a ton of research. I can tell you from just talking with the docs that I work with and what I've heard from, what the nurses are seeing. My personal research, it doesn't seem like a lot of pregnant women are being affected by this, but you also have to take into retrospect, like if those women have pre-existing conditions, okay, then I would assume they would be obviously more high risk. But let's say like a normal, healthy woman who gets pregnant, it's not, the numbers aren't showing that it's affecting a lot of pregnant women, okay? Kids, we're not seeing a lot of kids that are being affected either, which is amazing. Don't really know why. But the research I did showed that basically, infants from like 12 months and under seem to be more at risk, and some are getting sick. I would assume that just is because they probably don't have antibodies built up, things like we all have. So that's all I really know. I'm not an expert in that spot.
No, more good information. So Mikey, you got anything else that you want to poke the Kobe's brain about?
Man, I don't. I mean, you've got me, you said a lot of what I expected you to say. And, I think that I'm hoping that this shines some light on those individuals who think that this is all just fear mongering and nothing more. I hope this opens up their eyes, especially for people like you, because I do have a lot of friends that are nurses. And I hear their stories every day online, on Facebook. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm drained. I had one person was telling me that, actually, maybe it was you. I don't remember who it was, but somebody had told me that they grew so numb of signing death certificates that they no longer even have feelings towards it. And that individual went home and, was crying because they had no feelings, that they had just, I don't remember, it was like 4 or 5 death certificates within an hour or something like that. I don't remember but it was a short amount of time. You've said everything that I can ask. I can't push any further my belief of wearing the mask. I think you've answered the questions the way that they need to be answered. I just really hope that this opens up people's eyes. That's what I'm hoping for.
So on that, right, we always like to spend a little part of the show where we kind of talk about what can we do as a society, how can we come together, how can we move forward. Or we can even talk or vent or something that you want to speak out to the public. So we'll start off with our guests first. So Kobe, yes. Is there something that, you definitely want to drive home? Like you can hop in like what me and Mikey do, where we try to come up with some type of solution, some type of, problem solving that we can help everybody to show, all right, listen, this is kind of us meeting in the middle and moving forward with. Or you can just end it with, hey, this is a spiel. I just want to say this, and I just want everyone to understand, my point or my opinion. So I will pass the mic off to you.
There's a few things that I think I would love to say, and it's mostly just to give people some facts about the situation with the masks. I don't like wearing masks either, all right? But when somebody tells me that, oh, I just hate wearing a mask when I have to go to the grocery store, and it's like, okay, you're probably wearing a mask for what, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe an hour? If you guys understood what I had to do the last 2 days for 14 hours straight and what I have to wear and put on and sweat in, and if you could see what my face looks like, it just bothers me when people complain. It's not a big deal, especially if you can just wrap your brain around just thinking about other people. We're just trying to help other people, right? Like,
you sound like my wife complaining about me, but go ahead.
It's not ever. It's just, if anything, as a society, this is showing me that people just don't have patience to allow us to figure out a solution here, or to get a vaccine, or whatever it is that we're going to do, figure out how to help these people. Our society didn't give us time before everybody started picking sides and freaking out and coming up with conspiracy theories. And that, from my perspective, because I'm not involved in any of that crap, is very frustrating for me. All of my colleagues were like, we are so beyond frustrated. So I'm sick of people saying they can't wear the mask, okay? Because we have to wear them 14 hours, and it's god awful. So that's my first point. The second thing I would love to say is you are not breathing in carbon dioxide by wearing a fucking mask.
How long she's been waiting for that? I think I said 30 minutes ago.
Love it.
I'm breathing in 21% oxygen right now. So you're not even breathing in 100% oxygen when you're breathing room air. So that's just people that are saying that they're going to die from wearing a mask or that they're breathing in carbon dioxide don't have the actual knowledge to understand the concepts of how breathing works. You literally you exhale carbon dioxide, yes, but it's already out there in the air, and your mask isn't sealed shut. It's open, so you're not gonna die. Like it doesn't even make sense to me. But I'm hoping that people can open up their eyes and realize that that's not even accurate at all.
How much do you need to be exposed to it before it's actually lethal?
Carbon dioxide?
Yeah.
I mean,
straight carbon dioxide. I'm not talking about like a mixture. Well, you have CO2 alarms in your house, right? Because once a mixture gets to a certain level, it's bad for you.
That's monoxide.
No one buys Mikey's house. Why did 3 months? Why did Mikey die? Well, he did.
A lot of methane too, if you know what I mean.
Mikey.
That's my house, Kyle. But anyway. But yeah, so how much do you know? Do you know what like the ratio is to a certain part where it is lethal and how long it takes to get there?
I don't have that ratio for you. I'm sorry. I can tell you if you were breathing in straight carbon dioxide, it would only take a matter of minutes for you to be on the ground passed out.
That's straight carbon dioxide. Yes.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, you're in the nurse ward. You're wearing this thing 14 hours. So somebody wearing it for 10, 20. Let's give them 30 minutes. Should they be fine?
Wearing a mask, or what do you mean?
Yeah, wearing a mask for 10, 20. That's what I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
Yeah.
You wear a mask for 14 hours. Will somebody who's wearing a mask for 20, 30 minutes survive? Is it okay for them?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know how to answer that.
Man.
I mean, all of us healthcare workers are doing it. I mean, come on. We're not dying, so...
Exactly. I sorry, Mikey, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's the proof that the masks work.
So I think we all can agree on it, right? Any protection over your face is better than no protection, right?
Absolutely.
Obviously, you want to get the correct protection. So wear your mask, wear them safely. My biggest thing I'm going to push out there, if you guys want to open up the economy, you guys want to do your stuff, stay 6 feet away from each other, wear your stupid mask. That's all I want to say. That's pretty much it. Meet in the freaking middle. If you want to open up the economy, get life back to normal, go do things, stay 6 feet away from each other, wear your stupid mask, live your lives. No issue, no problems. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people. Get it, understand it. It's not that hard. Stop politicizing this. It's just facts and science. Let's move past these points. Let's do our best to be safe for everybody. And if you can, last but not least, and you feel like, you want to get into a rally or a protest, man, we're doing this on Zoom. We can do 100 people on Zoom. I'll do my rally through this. We can protest through here. There's so many other options. And I know it may sound like a joke, but there's so many other and actually more effective options that you can do things online and gather and protest and raise money that I think that we can do here that we don't really need to be out there and really spreading this virus, because I think that is a top concern. So, Mike, you got anything?
Man, I mean, basically, as far as with me, I mean, being an individual who does have a pre-existing condition, as I kind of told you guys in the pre-talk, I cringe. I so cringe when I hear people say that I need to live my life. Let me rephrase that. I cringe when I hear people who live with people who are extremely vulnerable to this here disease. They turn around and they say, oh, I have to live my life. Well, I get that. And I want you to live your life. But stop being so damn selfish and think of the people who are in your household. If you live with your grandmother, an older relative of any sort, anybody with any sort of pre-existing condition, I'm sorry, but if that individual is bunkering down, you should have, we're going to call it human kindness, which is, I think, something that a lot of people have forgotten during this pandemic. What you need to do is think of those other people that are in your household and say, I'm not going out, or if I go out, I'm wearing a mask to protect not me, but my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunt, my uncle, mother, father, roommate who's got a pre-existing condition. I have seen so many people just look the other way. They go, oh, I won't get it, so I won't pass it over to my grandma and grandpa. Horseradish. I'm sorry. That's complete BS, because even though you may not have symptoms and you don't know you have it, if or when you give it to your grandparents, if they're vulnerable to this, you have just killed them.
There's such cotton-headed ninny muggins. I 100% agree with you.
And it frustrates me that I see, in my opinion, a majority of the left saying it's my right not to wear it. I'm not going to attack Trump on the sense of not wearing a mask. I'm not going to do that.
Trump's what I am going to left. No, I was going to let that slide, but
I'm sorry, right? On the right. I'm sorry, on the right.
It's the left. You're right. You're 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I broke him. I did it again. Look at that face. I'm going to make the whole next show with his frozen face, by the way. Let's see if he comes back in 3, 2, 1. Mikey? Why does it freeze on his best faces? I think, did we lose him? Tyler, he's back.
Hey, guys. All right, I'm back. Okay, so as I was saying, if Donald Trump was a smart businessman, what he would do is he would turn around and say, "Make America Great Again" masks, and sell them on his website. I guarantee you that if he made "Make America Great," I don't even care, wear it. Show your pride towards Trump. Do it. I want you to do it. Great. Show your pride and protect others. But no, he decided not to wear a mask. He decided to show face that way. Again, I'm attacking his business sense. I'm intending to anyway. Mm-hmm. This is what drives me crazy is people lead by example. And they say, well, he's not a doctor. You shouldn't be listening to him. Well, unfortunately, the presidency is supposed to be a credible voice. Supposed to be. That's been dashed down now. So now people say, oh, he's not a doctor. You shouldn't listen to him. I can't blame people for listening to him because that's supposed to be a critical, a seat that you listen to. Anyway, I just want to say, stop the BS, stop the whole right and left bull, get your head out of your friggin' ass, and protect the others that need to be protected. Don't sit there and disguise the fact and make the people who are in your household feel like a burden, because that's what it does. If your roommate or your grandmother, grandfather, whatever, has to tell you not to go out, that's not a good feeling for somebody to say you can't do something. So don't put them in that situation. That's all I got to say about that.
No, that was a great intro to In the Middle face masks. Thank you all. You can pick them up at your local Chaz or Chop in Seattle.
Dude, I think they broke that down. Dude, we should make them. We should make them.
Right?
Why not?
So no, that was funny, right? We're gonna make them. We'll hire Kobe. Kobe, can you make those? Can you get us a bunch of masks at the hospitals?
Actually, like, maybe. Yes, I have someone who lives with me who makes them. So
nice.
Nice. That. I like that. Right? We're gonna get In the Middle mask going, and we'll get them out to all you loyal fans, the two of you. Anyways. But anyways, thank you, Kobe, so much for joining the show. Obviously, thanks to Cal for producing, and everyone. Continue commenting, continue sharing, continue posting. Go onto your Facebook, share the links, let other people know about the show. We've actually, I think we got up to like 100 likes on Facebook already, which is great. I think we have about up to 34 subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys for building up our team. But hey, you know what? In the long run, that means you guys are watching, you guys are liking. I think we're getting up to 150 views where it's slow, it's building, but that means people are tuning in and watching. So people are liking this kind of these shows where it's not just two people just debating and arguing. It's the left is right and the right is right. It's really about us trying to come together. And that's one of the things that I know sometimes I get people like, oh, well, you should have debated him on this. That's not the point of the show. The show is to let each other have our turn to speak, to talk, and really try to understand why we feel this way. It's not there to debate or bash somebody. So again, thank you for both of you and everybody who's part of this and who comments and comes on and voices your opinion, because this is a safe place. I'm going to say that every single time, Mikey. It's a safe place for everyone to talk about. So thank you all for joining, and I will pass it off to our main honcho, Mikey.
Well, I do thank you very much all for joining us in this two-part episode. The second part's not a full hour, but I think we got everything that we wanted to ask out. And Colby, I so much appreciate everything that you've done. I can't wait to get you back at camp one of these years. We miss Cheese being there. I still get asked, where's Cheese every once in a while. So you are missed at camp. So hopefully we could get you back there sometime soon. It's been a privilege and an honor. Thank you so much for being such a great friend and giving us your insight. I can't tell you how much I do appreciate it, and helping shine the light on people who may be more stubborn. We'll just call it that.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you guys very much. And thank you all for very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Just like TJ said, comment, like, share. Try to keep the comments again all in one. Wait till the episode is over and then hit submit, because it helps me. But outside of that, I thank you all again.
Screw that. I like the numbers climbing up. Comment as much as you guys want. Because I'm like, oh my God, 10 comments. Yay! People like us. People like us.
So, as again, no matter where you're watching, whenever you're watching, wherever you're watching from, I thank you so much for watching In the Middle. Stay tuned for next week.